Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of the London Distillery Company Renascence. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of the London Distillery Company Renascence. Renascence is a single malt whisky from the recently revived London Distillery Company, and their story dates back to 2011. They became the first distillery in London since the Lee Valley Distillery closed in 1903, but their story ended in 2020. It was recently revived with Matt Mackay at the helm, who's ex-Bimber, and this whisky is an amalgamation of the casks that were laid down between 2011 and 2020. Matt chose a great selection of whiskies which are ex-bourbon and ex-sherry, and this particular whisky is natural colour, non-chill filtered. It's one of 410 bottles and it's 58% ABV. It retailed for £88 in the UK and was available through Berry Brothers and Rudd. Shall we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say it's like a bright gold. There really is a lovely colour indeed. Let's start with the nose. Right, so I start to get red and black hedgerow berries. I'm getting some orange oil, and that's turning into like an orange sherbet. I'm getting like a malted rye note. I'm getting hints of fruitcake, ginger. I'm getting like almond pastries. And there's also like a soft, dusty quality to it. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so to start, there's a rich, chewy, sort of textural feel. Really is nice. The ABV is definitely noticeable, 58%. It's whiskey that I definitely have to add water to. I'm getting flavours of stewed red and black berries. And there's also some dark chocolate and macadamia nuts. Let's have another sip. Yeah, so I'm starting to get some barrel spice, and there's definitely toasted oak. It's noticeably prominent with a tingly sort of peppery cask char. It really does awaken the palate. It's, as I've said, it's a whiskey that's a little bit hot for me. I find a decent splash of water really helps open this up. But I'm sure there's plenty out there that would appreciate this as it comes. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, so I'm starting to get hints of ginger. There's definitely a floral quality to it as well, such as rosewater, or even reminds me a little of Turkish Delight. I think the flavours on this are quite noticeable. I think the red fruits and the berries definitely come forward, and it's really nice with that spicy, peppery note. In terms of finish though, I'd say it's very long. There's definitely a long, lingering finish with like warming cinnamon and peppery cask char, and that leads on to like a dark chocolate and citrus note. There's also like hints of menthol and even a touch of clove oil, which leaves that sort of pleasant warmth on the palate. In terms of value, well, as I said, this is £88 in the UK. It's sold out as far as I'm aware, but I think as the first official release of the newly revived London Distillery Company, I think not only is this a good representation of where the company was, I think it's also set its intentions for what the company will be in the future. The distillery was founded on heritage grains and traditional methods, and I think Matt at the helm, I think he'd like to continue that. Obviously this particular whisky is made with Plumage Archer barley, which is obviously a heritage grain, and I think he'd like to keep some of those sort of more traditional methods and ingredients. I was lucky enough to try this at a whisky show before I bought it, so it was one that I already was looking forward to buy, and I knew it would sell out reasonably quickly as it's only one of 410 bottles. Obviously Renascence is like a term for rebirth or revival, and I think this is a good place to start for a company that laid down a lot of stock but effectively went out of business. I think if they can continue what was already started and they can get people into this brand, you know, draw people in, I think people will definitely get some good liquid if this is the sort of thing that they're going to try and replicate going forwards. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any set dates for a new distillery, but obviously that is the intention in the long run. The bottle design and tube design I think are absolutely fantastic. I think they're proper top drawer design, and I know Matt Mackay himself had an input into the design. And I think the brand, I think it oozes quality, and yeah, I think the image, the liquid, I think it's all good stuff. And I think if this is just a whiff of what's to come in future, I think we're along for a good ride with this brand. So yeah, keep an eye out. Obviously they will be releasing some other whiskies from their catalogue, but definitely, you know, sign up and see what they're doing, because I think this will be a brand to keep an eye on in future, because I think they'll be doing great things. If you've tried this or anything else from the London Distillery Company, then let me know in the comments as always. And if not, and you found that interesting, give me a like and hopefully a subscribe if you don't already. Everything helps this channel. Hopefully you found that interesting, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Sauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.